What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Biggz, Bros, and Superheroes, the only show in which your host would use the Infinity Stones to get Infinity Stoned. I'm Nick James. Along with me, as always, is...
Big body, Biggz, the can of pimp.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for 4 episodes now. And with that 4th episode, we've grown, guys. There's a plethora of platforms to use us on now. We can be found on YouTube, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, and Amazon Music. That one, to me, I like being on all these platforms. Listen to us however you can. But it's kind of cool if you walk up to your Amazon cylinder and say, "Hey, Alexa, play Biggz, Bros, and Superheroes, a podcast." She's going to let you listen to us. It's kind of cool that robots will now let us listen to each other. I mean, it's 2020. What a time to be alive. Did you ever think, growing up, that you'd produce an internet radio show with no radio, but robots would let you listen to it?
Not at all.
It's a crazy time to be alive, isn't it?
It is. I grew up with cassette tape decks and VHS.
It's a big jump to where we are right now.
Yeah. Atari 2600.
That's what's up. Ooh, we're going to talk a little bit about video games. That's going to be coming up. If you're a first-time listener, our name is going to give you exactly what you're going to be listening today, Biggz, Bros, and Superheroes. Biggz refers to medical marijuana that we got setting up, not only in which we are having right now, but we got a grower in the house. He's going to share with you some awesome tips, what's going on with his giant CBD farm. 8,000 plants, guys. We're going to talk about that in a minute anyway. Bros goes into a little bit more about what we're doing, hanging out in each other's lives, and then Superheroes we'll get to, but we watched a superhero movie this week, and we're going to talk about it. But that's all the way at the very, very end. With that, we'll get into the Bud section. So do you want to start with what we have here, or do you want to start with a story of what you're doing up at your farm?
We could talk about, I would like to talk about different joints, blunts, like papers.
Oh, okay.
Different flavors. What papers are good that I like, that I don't like. I don't know about you or whatever you like to.
I'm a raw cone guy. If I roll anything, cool. I usually put it right into a cone because I can't roll very well. I used to be able to do okay with some papers, but I'll admit it right here, and people might show some hate, and I probably deserve it, but I can't roll a blunt for shit.
I could roll, I just don't like it. It makes me wheeze too much and too much on my lungs, I used to only smoke blunts, blunt after blunt after blunt.
So I'm sure you can roll in like a motherfucker then.
Yeah, easily, but I'm a joint guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to roll these papers that were clear. I forget the name of the company, but they ended up, the papers they were too, it's kind of like it got moist inside as you smoked it, and you had to wait to smoke more of it, and it was just I didn't like it. So now I smoke raw papers and the raw organic, and I put them in a cigarette machine and roll them up. The only bad thing about the cigarette machine is a lot of times you get the weed in your mouth from the end of it, unless I got like a tip. People use, funky field tips or those ends that you have in the cones. Same thing.
I've seen some people put filters in as well, or little pieces of cardboard or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't like to do that.
No, not really.
Now, is it a taste thing, or is it a feel thing when you put it in?
The cardboard thing just kind of goes back to the blunt thing. I don't like that extra cardboard taste I taste,
Mm-hmm.
I like to just taste straight weed. And joints are the best way for me, anyway.
But then how do you deal with the weed in the mouth? That doesn't gross you out more?
Nah, I just spit it out. It's only a little.
And then what about roaches?
Roaches, I have probably 100 of those saved.
That's funny.
So what I do with the roaches, I'm gonna make some butter again. I'm not gonna eat any edibles, no. But I'm going to make butter and maybe even make edibles and hand them out to friends.
That'd be cool. That's gonna be some potent stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, jeez. Back to the papers though. So you're a raw guy as well, right?
Yeah, or OBC, they're called organic. Bud, something I can't remember the actual name, but they say OCB organics, and they're pretty good.
I like to tell a story every time I hear something raw, because the cones, aforementioned cones that I talked about, are also raw. And my friend, quote unquote, Kevin Smith, podcaster, filmmaker, had the Raw guy on his podcast, and he told the story about why as Americans or as cigarette people, we started to dye our paper white because, like, back in the 18-something, quote unquote, fat cats would roll around with those giant cigars stuffed in their mouth like that. And when they got to the butt, they'd eventually just throw that shit out. And poorer people would come, take it, rip out its guts, and roll it in newspaper to make smaller cigars. Or cigarettes, cigarellos, somewhere in between there. So in these newspapers, they were pure white. So people could spot from a distance that they were off-colored. And therefore, they must be poor because they're smoking these off-colored cigarettes. So producers of cigarettes started to make their cigarettes white as a status symbol. Like, I'm smoking white cigarettes, so like, right. It's not somebody's leftover stuff. But all that leads to a lot of the chemical intake of burning cigarettes and making you sick. So that's why when you look at Raw, not only is that the name, but that is the color of which they should be. It's a fun little factoid that when I listened to it, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. That I like to spread whenever I can. My wife has probably heard me tell that story, I don't know, 200-300 times. God love her.
But I have a pack of orange zigzags. Right? They're straight for tobacco. That's what they've always been used for before weed or whatever. And if you take one of those and roll up the same type of weed as whatever, just the same weed, put it in some raw, and then hit both joints, a zigzag and a raw, with the same weed, it just tastes completely different. And you wouldn't think it, but it does.
I might have to try that out.
The zigzag tastes like shit.
Now, have you ever had Colt 45 and 2 zigzags?
No.
Do you get that Afro Man reference, or did that go Colt 45, 2 zigzags? Maybe that's all we need. We can roll to the park after dark. No, you never heard that song? Well, I know what we're doing when we're done with this. Because I would play it right now, but we would get ripped off social media almost immediately for copyright infringement. Afro Man sitting somewhere going, fuck you. I need the pennies that I need, and if you're going to sing my song, you're going to fucking pay me. That's amazing you haven't heard that song. I remember I was in Disney when I first heard that song. Like, I was working there, and this guy that I worked with was like, "You never heard this song?" And I was like, "Nah." And we played it, and it was kind of the anthem for our entire internship there. Though it's not, it's not even like we were taking Colt 45s and 2 zigzags to a park or riding in our caddies. I don't know why. I love it when people sing rap songs and like nothing about the rap song, it like crosses over a Venn diagram with their actual life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That shit's funny to me. So as we talk about these raw papers and your little cigarette machine, which I thought was amazing, I never saw one in action before. It rolls them perfectly. What is it that we're putting into this?
What strain are we putting into?
Jeez, what is this?
Actually, it's a jet fuel container.
This?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing in it. We've been smoking on it,
but holy shit, is it heavy? This is like real glass.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen one of these from the labs because I keep just buying smaller amounts, so it always comes in the plastic little.
Yeah, well, this is the plastic, and that's their glass for the 7 grams, I guess. But they grow some really good bud.
Franklin Labs, that says.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious jet fuel again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's become what, your champion, your house champion, if you will?
One of them at Harvest of Scranton, yeah. It's one of my favorite ones.
Do you know what surprises me about them? They don't have an Instagram.
No?
No, because I kept I put up one on ours, a.k.a. follow us on Instagram, Buds Pros Superheroes. And like us on Facebook, too. Just go for the entire social media again.
Like us.
Let us know if you want us to have a Twitter. I don't know. I hate Twitter. I really just, it's not my medium. I'm just not good at it. Other people are, and I see how they use it well, but I just usually retweet stuff and say, hey, here's our episode, and I do that everywhere else. Anyway, on our Instagram, I was at Harvest, and I put up a picture, and I wanted to tag them. Nothing.
They should.
They should. But this is jet fuel again. Absolutely delicious. A little bit of a body. A little bit of a slower talk, if you can't tell already, but we're going to push through it. That's my favorite thing about pushing through. Just getting super stoned and being like, all right, I got to get this flight in for a landing. Let's go. If you can't tell, I get super chatty.
I want to say something to all. If there's any police listening, I just want to say, we're real close to becoming legal. And I know there's laws still right now, but if you could find it in your heart to not ruin somebody's job or somebody's life, getting their kids taken over a joint. If you find a joint or an eighth in the car and they don't have their medical marijuana card, just try to be fair. Try not to ruin their life. They're not out hurting anybody. They're not out committing a crime that can harm someone. So try to ease up. It's about
just burning a plant and breathing.
That's it. And
nobody should be in jail for weed. It's fucking crazy if you think about it.
Yeah,
especially all the people there now, just sitting there.
And I guarantee some of you cops are out there smoking right now too, and I'm not mad at that, but can't, just be easy. It's a different time right now.
Yeah, we're really pushing for it. So I think we tried to at once say we were going to keep our state anonymity held, and then we broke that. So we are in PA, but our Governor Wolf is like, bro, let's get some recreational marijuana going, and we can use all that money to help us out with this COVID crisis. And I'm like, ding, 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 sir.
Yes.
That's the answer. Can I get a PA recreational for $100 billion, Alex?
Hello.
Sold. Like, let's do it. We can use that money for so much. And then, like you're saying, dude, I don't have an ounce on me. Because, like, an ounce, I think that law is fair. If you have over an ounce on you, why are you driving around?
Yeah, because, you don't need all that in one day if you're smoking on something real.
Correct.
Even if you're smoking on some regular shit with some seeds all up in it, you're still not smoking that whole ounce in one day.
No.
So there's no need to travel with the whole joint.
Correct. And if you are, you would agree that there's probably a nefarious back road reason to do it.
Yeah,
and that I understand.
Don't bounce with the whole ounce.
We got to put that on a T-shirt. I don't know. I'm seeing a basketball, pot leaf. There's a bunch of different things that that's going to be T-shirt number 1. Don't bounce with an ounce, kids.
Don't bounce.
And by kids, I mean people
ounce.
over 21 with their medical marijuana. Let's not get all crazy.
And look, people, listen to me. Get your medical marijuana card. You can get it online now for cheap.
Super duper easy.
It's super easy. No appointments in person. None of that. They just call you.
Teleconferencing.
They just call you and say, hello. you know what I mean?
Are you a big stand-up fan?
Yeah.
Do you like Tom Segura? Have you heard him?
I have to check.
We can watch a little something to jog the memory.
I might have seen him or watched him on TV, but don't realize what the name, and it doesn't. It's not connected now.
I like him. I like his wife, Christina P. Love their podcast, Your Mom's House podcast. If you want a funny podcast to listen to, definitely check out Your Mom's House. But he's got a bit about trying to go in to see a weed doctor, and he wants to make sure that it sounds good. So, like, he goes in there, and he's like, sometimes my eyes, they don't work, and they hurt, and and the guy goes, all right, here. And he goes into the next room. I'm really abbreviating, so if Mr. Segura is listening, I'm sorry for butchering it. And hey, Tom. He goes into the next guy, and it's, he makes a funny reference to what they look like that I won't. But he says, the guy goes up and he's like, sometimes I just like the way the weed makes me feel. And the doctor just wrote him a prescription for it. And it's like, yes, sometimes it can be that easy, folks. Just go in there and be honest. Like, why do you need it,
I know a person, he paid $130. They called him on the phone. They were supposed to do a FaceTime. They called him, just a normal phone call. Oh, you have anxiety? Okay. They were on the phone for maybe 5 minutes. He got his card. Sent to him 7 to 10 days. I mean.
Just like that, Jack. And then when you go to a dispensary, this is one of the things, I think we might have touched on it on a previous episode, but anybody in PA, just so you know when you're ready to go, you must speak to the pharmacist at each location that you go to the first time that you go to them. So just be prepared for that. Sometimes it does not take longer. Sometimes, like I'm saying, you don't even have to sit in the same room and talk to them. You can teleconference them. But don't expect to just roll up to a new dispensary without speaking to somebody prior or speaking to somebody further and having a longer wait your first time to make sure that T's are crossed, lowercase J's are dotted, things like that.
Yeah, because don't be like me and go there and expect to get marijuana the first day you go, and the pharmacist not be in there, because you're definitely not walking away with any marijuana. So if you go there, I would say call first on your first day just to make sure the pharmacist is there, because you won't walk away with anything,
Helpful hints from your buds. I like that.
That's that. But if you could just get your card because it's safe. It's about being safe. You know, in today's day and age, you don't need to give the cops any reason to have to do extra things and search your car and put you in jail for the night or any of that. Like, just do it the right way. You know, they're giving you a chance to do it the right way, so do it the right way.
Get your card. Don't bounce with the ounce. This has been a public service announcement, right?
Straight up.
With that, you want to head on over to Bros?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I love this song. People, let me tell you, been my best friend. So one thing I wanted to talk about specifically in this section for this week, again, if you're new to the show, you're now in the Bros section where we just kind of bullshit a little bit more. I went to a birthday party for a 5-year-old, and it was the best birthday party I've ever been to, straight up. This 5-year-old chose a Super Mario themed birthday party. So the invitation itself already let you know, like, we want to invite you to this super good birthday. You got Mario there hanging out. So I already knew the theme, and I had joked with my wife we should go dressed up, but we didn't because the time constraint. Roll up there. How much do you know about Super Mario to begin with?
I played
like the OG.
Yeah.
So if you get the OG, you get all this. So first thing when you roll up, there are gold star balloons with the little eyes drawn on them. Perfect. Each centerpiece on the table is a piece of green PVC pipe with the little flower coming out with the 2 little eyes on it. There are gold chocolate coins everywhere. She has back-to-back gold plates stuck together with coins hung up everywhere.
Okay.
Boxes with the little question marks put around everywhere. I'm trying to think. I don't want to forget anything because, again, every detail was perfect. The cupcakes. I'm going to ask her if I could share a picture of the cupcakes, because she had delicious looking cupcakes that she fondant. Do you know what fondant is?
I do not.
I didn't either. So if you watch any baking something and it's like that nice smooth look to a cake, you know,
yeah, it's like a layer of something.
Yes,
over it?
And that something is called fondant. Apparently, it doesn't taste very well, but it makes it look very nice. So she had a layer of fondant and then a layer more, like it was multiple layers to like make mushrooms and stars and boxes. I mean, hours of work had to go into this, and it was impressive. So all of that is just blowing my mind. We go in, we get food, delicious. I was telling you the spread, like sandwiches, fried chicken, 2 different types of pasta, a pasta salad, so technically 3, and everything's delicious. It's all under this tent because it was kind of hot, and I'm like, wow, I really, like, what is there for an adult to do for a birthday party, a kid's birthday party? If you don't have a kid, you know, not too much. This was perfect.
Right.
So I left out a big piece. They live on a corner. We roll up, and in the corner is a blow-up castle. And I'm thinking it's a bouncy house. But as you round the corner, it's a giant water slide / slip-and slide / little pool.
Cool.
So up one side, you crawl up, and then you slide down into, like, not a pool of water, but like a puddle pool of water, you know? Like,
nice.
You couldn't drown in it unless you were really trying, I'm trying to say, you know? But it was enough to let the kids, it was hooked up to a hose, so the mat was always wet.
Nice.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is the best fucking birthday party I have ever been to. Everything is great. How can things get better, Big? A motherfucking ice cream truck rolls up around the corner. They hired the ice cream man. Yep, and you didn't have to pay personally, you know, like they kept track and somewhere somebody in the family paid off somebody, shout out to who that was.
Just go on up and get a milkshake or ice cream
They
or
had
whatever.
soft serve, but they also had, you know, standard quote-unquote Jolly Ollie Man, like, I got a Spider-Man pop, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, they had sponge, but like...
Cool stuff. Nice.
What the fuck, man?
That's a real cool party.
That's a real cool party.
Now
That kid should remember it.
Chunky's party next year, because just earlier she said she wants to... have a real big party for him next year for his 5th birthday, you know. So
let me know,
now I have to do something cool like that, you know.
It was every last detail was absolutely perfect. So I know we're going for. I want to give that host a shout out. She knows who she is if she's listening. And again, I told her right to her face. And I was trying not to seem, because I'm kind of sarcastic and jokey a lot. So, like, when I say shit, I need people to sometimes understand. And I looked at her and I was like, this is the best birthday party I've ever been to. Because just down to the last detail. So, shout out to that. That's really all in my week that I really had to bring up. Because, I don't even love Super Mario like that.
Right.
You know, you've seen my geek side come out. I'm not ashamed to wave my freak flag about stuff.
Right.
But I didn't even know it that much, but every detail to me was still so special and still so perfect that I'm like, you rock. This is like, yeah, you got a gold star mom, like, for this party, because it really was. Like, I remember my 5th birthday party. So, like, 5 for me is in and around where memories are starting to become real. Like, that kid will fucking remember this, hopefully forever, because he deserves to. Like, shout out. What'd you do this week?
Well, I had a car out back, a 97 Audi 6. It wasn't actually mine, but it was supposed to be mine. I was supposed to buy it for my daughter. So I just let the car sit there for 5 years, 5.5 years. It's actually my neighbors that live right next door. I had a friend just pop up out of town about a week ago. He wanted to buy the car, so I sold it to him this week and got to clear out that area. So that's it, man. Getting ready to stain the deck because we cleaned that off and power sprayed it and all that. So,
are you going to go for a darker type of stain?
No, almost a clear.
A clear coat on it.
Almost,
Nice.
Yeah.
You can do that all by hand yourself?
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's going to be a fun time.
It,
yeah. I've done it once. It's a chore, but it's always so much worth it.
We stained her mom's deck once before, you know. So, and we stained I had a couple jobs. I used to do shit like that. She helped me stain it, and but yeah, that's it, man. Just hung around and sold the car and cleaned up, got the carpet in and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, how'd making that bed go? That's a funny thing. You called me talking about it.
Remind me, remind me making the.
So you got your carpet in,
putting the bed together.
Yeah, that was a fun little
building it.
Yeah.
With Florida Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, Florida Joe, if you're out there, you're a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. Yeah, you're special. Okay, you're special. That's all I'll say. You're special.
Go ahead and walk him through, man, because I think you had to call me after to be like, yo, you got to hear what just happened to me building this fucking bed.
So I'm trying to tell him, look, I don't think it goes like this. I think you're laying it down, upside down, and backwards. I put this bed together 4 times. How can you tell me? This is how it goes. I said, okay. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it. He went home. I'm looking at it. And he came right back. He had to go get like a piece of tool or whatever. He came right back, and I said, this isn't right. I said, look at these screws on the top. You can see that a piece of wood was pressed into the wood where those screws go, and there's nothing there. Plus, we didn't even put the legs on, and those were where the legs go, through the other side. So I was right. He was wrong. And it took a whole extra, 2 hours of stupidity, you know, on one person being hard-headed. And I guess, like they say, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, you know.
But it did get done right in the end.
Yeah. After about, yeah.
I saw it. It looks great. The carpet looks great. We were talking about, I love the smell of fresh carpet.
Yeah. My girl's like, oh, I can't stand the smell of that. I don't like the smell of that. I'm like, what are you talking about? It smells good. It smells clean. It smells fresh.
It's like a brand new car.
I said, did you smell the carpet downstairs when we come in the door? It smells like old and dirty-ish. Like, we have to get it shampooed again because the people that lived there before us had cats, and these cats were sick. My brother told me they were throwing up all the time. They were pissing everywhere. I've walked in there to collect rent a couple times, and I saw piss stains on the floor. And I'm like fresh piss, like wet, right
puddles.
There. Yeah, I'm like, are you gonna get that? I couldn't. I don't mean to tell people how to be in their own house, but you're renting my house, so like I just had to say something. Are you gonna come on? You're just letting that sit there like it's not there. You know, so when we came back and we started cleaning that rug, there was so much cat hair. It was ridiculous. And I'm allergic to cat hair or saliva, one of the two. But I had to eat allergy medicine until we really cleaned it and got a rug doctor. And
is that who did it? I was going to ask you. Did you get a rug doctor or did rug doctor come in?
No, we rented one.
Okay. Where'd you get that?
Right here at Garrity's.
Nice.
And
I'm going to get one.
But when we bought the carpet for the upstairs and the steps, the guy gave us this spray can of some weird spray for the carpet, like if one of the dogs peed on it or whatever, and a coupon for this company to come in and do 1 room or 2 rooms or whatever it is, and you get a real big discount through him. So we're going to have them come in and do that whole downstairs with real equipment, like real equipment.
Yeah, because we bought this house in March, and thank God, and sorry podcast listeners, that was me knocking on wood. It didn't come across as loud as I thought it was going to. These mics are awesome. We have good dogs. Only once has there been an issue, and we didn't let them out before we left. Probably should have, could have seen that coming.
It's your fault. It's your fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't
spent a good amount of time cleaning that, but I still just think the every day has gotten to it just a little bit, because what is that now? 5 months? So yeah, I think we'll do at the 6-month mark, have somebody come in or rent a
just
rug
knock
doctor.
them off, right?
Yeah, maybe do it ourselves at the 6-month mark, and at the 1 year mark, have
They
somebody
work
do
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they work good. We used to have, we bought one. We had one, and my brother and his girl moved in, and it disappeared. Like, we left stuff for them to use, not use, and then sell, and that's what happened to a lot of stuff in there.
Dang.
Some of it petty stuff, too. Like, you sold this? You took this? But anyway.
Weird.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get that rug doctored pretty soon. We're having a party next month that you're coming to.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a good time.
Turning up, people.
Yeah, everybody born in 1990 is feeling like me right now. If not already taken down, they're just like, dirty. It's coming.
1990, what a year. Ooh. And you were born in 1990.
Yep.
I am getting old.
Yeah, I'm going to share this with everybody. Share it with you. I don't really, to be honest, what's it going to matter? My birthday is my favorite thing about myself. I was born on September 22nd, 1990. So if you write that out the way Americans do, month, day, year, you write 092290. So it's the same forwards and backwards.
That's cool.
I don't know why I find that so cool, but so I know it's something small, and I don't understand. I'm sure there's got to be somebody else out there who shares my birthday. But I know it's. Ooh, do you know who celebrity shares your birthday?
I do not.
Bonnie Hunt. Are you familiar with her? She had a TV show back in the 90s. She's also like, did you ever see Jumanji, the original?
Yeah.
The lady in Jumanji.
Okay.
And Tom Felton, Draco Malfoy.
You want to know what is cool is I have a nephew who has the same exact birthday.
Oh, that is cool. I thought that was going to happen with one of my nephews. We're very close.
Since we're in the bros section, right?
Yep.
I once met a girl. Man, she had the same birthday as me, and we were born in the same hospital. She's like an hour older than me.
That's some cool but weird shit.
Wait, because she just would not leave me alone when it was time for it to end. It was like Jason, like the female version of Jason, chasing me. I'd find her in parking lots, Kmart's. I'd stare out my bedroom. She'd be across the street just waiting there staring. Like crazy stuff.
# no thank you.
You're my soulmate. We were born on the same day.
No, that doesn't
What
work
did I
for me.
do? No. I'm like, oh my
You're doing it right now.
You're too clingy. Yeah, you're doing it right now.
All right, so really quick, just so I could close this loop. Gilligan's Island?
I like that.
The skipper. You and the skipper have the same birthday. Alan Hale Jr. Keep going up the list. There's a lot of people on here, but, we don't got all day.
Pisces in the building.
Cameron Manheim. She was on The Practice. I recognize her face. James Vanderbeek. You and Dawson. You and the Dawson's Creek have the same birthday.
Oh, okay.
Aiden Quinn. Maybe if you saw his face, you'd recognize him. I know him because my sister loves Benny and June. We know him because we like Practical Magic. He's the sheriff in that. He was in Flipped. He's in a lot of stuff. I'll show you his picture after we're done. Freddie Prinze Jr. Come on, you know who he is. He was maybe Fred and Scooby-Doo, you know him from. But also, I Know What You Did Last Summer. She's All That was like his big one. Nope, you don't know him either. Anyway, you share the birthday with all of them. So when it comes to them, we'll celebrate all of us. I don't even know why we got on that subject. That's what I like about the bros section. Goes a little bit everywhere, and we're okay to do it.
Why not? What do you got planned this weekend coming up?
We have somebody coming out. I think we talked about it last episode, not the episode 4 of getting a bathroom put in. So somebody is going to come this Thursday. So by the time our listeners hear it, it'll be for them tomorrow.
Right.
New episodes every Wednesday. Even if it's right at the wire, 11:58. I upload that shit. Fuck it. It's still Wednesday.
Right?
What about you? You got anything except for our Friday night hangout as usual?
No, my son, his mom and grandmom and sister are going, they're going to Kalahari, it's called. It's an indoor water park / hotel for the night. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm on the highway and I see this big ass thing that looks like a water park, and apparently that's the same place.
Yeah, that's it.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, we went there once. It was real cool. So I think I'm just going to fall back and let them do the whole mom and it's all girls, you know what I mean? So I'm going to chill out and enjoy my alone time.
Cool. So when we figure out what movie we're going to watch next, you'll definitely have the weekend to watch that shit.
Well, they're only going for a night. I think it's actually, it might not even be this weekend. I think it's Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday night.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So by the time our listeners are listening, it'll be tonight or tomorrow again.
Once again.
I love playing that game. Of recording, but also being the editor / publisher, so you know different time frames like that.
Right.
I used to do a podcast, and the guy hated when I did that. He's like, we should keep it real. And I was like, that is real. That's the realest real it can get. Like, I'm in the future right now, people. Because it's Wednesday when you're listening to this, but really, it's not Wednesday for me right now.
Right.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, I like that. It's cool.
Speaking of movies, head on out, talk about some superheroes. If you've been hanging out with us this whole time, we watched Superman, the original Dick Donner movie, then we moved over to Hancock, then we moved over to Iron Man, and then this week we watched Aquaman. Matt. Did you like it?
Yes, I did. I liked it a lot.
Thank God.
A lot.
Yeah, because you gave a little bit of a stunner. Not really a stunner. I wasn't prepared for you not to like Iron Man.
Hated it.
Yeah, so I'm really happy you liked Aquaman. What did you like about it?
I liked how it showed that he was a superhero, super special from when he was a baby, because his mom was a superhero, or, alien if you want to say, whatever.
Atlantean.
Yeah, Atlantean, yeah.
Not only just a mom, but the queen.
The queen. And I just liked how it showed him in that one scene where he was in front of that big aquarium, and
that's where you see James Wan.
It.
Yeah, I mean, he's a visionary master in that.
Yeah, that was cool. So it showed him as a young kid, and then a teenager, and then an adult.
That teenager sucked, though. Did you notice when he was trying to be like painfully anguished, he was just painfully like, I laugh at that scene. I don't, because like for that movie, he takes me out, and it's not a big scene. And William Dafoe kind of holds it down. But Nicole Kidman, when I watch her throughout that whole movie, it's a cringe factor. So I'm happy she's not in a lot of it. What did you think of her?
She didn't bother me as much as the guy that played the part of his buddy in the bar. The guy with the little Scully cap on.
His father?
The older guy. No, not his... That was his
The guy
father.
who he's drinking with, and he was like, I don't know how you could drink more than me.
Yeah.
That's his dad.
Oh, that's the guy that... No, that's the... Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
In that scene where, like, I love it because they put it in the trailer of, like, hey, I hear you're that Aquaman or Aqua Boy. And they're like, oh, my God, can we take a picture with you?
See, there was one part in the movie where I took the dogs out, and then I took a piss real quick, and I said, oh, he's an adult already. So I think I missed, like, a part where... Because I don't remember him. I don't remember the guy in the guy that's the drunk guy that he, like, puts in the car with him, and he's always in the bar with them when the guys wanted the picture from behind him when he was sitting
and then, like, a giant wave takes him out.
Yeah,
that's his dad.
I didn't realize that.
And at the end, Nicole Kidman walks up on the pier. It's the same guy who's just like, oh, my God, there you are, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mom, when she comes in at the end,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. Yeah.
No, I just can't stand her in this. I don't know why. Because genuinely, I like her. We just talked about Practical Magic. It is a top 5 Halloween October movie, if you will, in this house. And I'll watch it outside of October. It's pretty good. It's her and Sandra Bullock. They're sisters and witches and bullshit, but that doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, it's not like when you were like, I hate Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
So it's not like I'm specifically sniping her as an actress. It's just for this performance, I don't know. She's very slow with the way she says things, and
You didn't like
it's not mystical to me. It's just like, bitch, get there.
Yeah.
Send him in there. He's going to get the trident. Let's go.
I liked how their hair movement was, like how, it really looked
Again,
like
James
underwater.
Wan is the director. So do you like scary movies?
Absolutely.
The Conjuring. Did you see that one? With the brother, Patrick Wilson, who's played Orm in this movie.
No.
He's like a husband, and no?
No, I haven't seen a real good horror movie in a while.
All right, sir, you're going to get double duty
I'm kind of
homework.
old school with the horror movies.
I'm going to send you home with a superhero movie and The Conjuring. Because, like, I don't like a lot of scary movies. I don't like slasher films, so like the Freddys, the Jasons. I understand where their place in Pantheon is. I don't mind them. I can watch them, but I don't find that to be horror.
Right.
Like, sometimes I think horror has to make me think more than that, or like put me in a position where it's like, what would you do? Like, so when I watch The Conjuring, there's this one scene, spoilers, I'm gonna spoil just a small little part. There's a little ghost boy, and she's standing on her, she's putting out the trash or some shit, and she looks into her own house and sees a little ghost boy. And it's like, what would you do? Like, you know, where I think of a man in a hockey mask who can't get shot, who's coming at me, it's like, well, I'm going to die. Because if I, like, obviously some weird, you know what I mean? I just can't hop on that train as easy as, like, I do believe in spirits. I do believe in not, like, I'm the person, don't start nothing, won't be none. I don't want to open that door. I don't want to look at the door. Some people want to play with Ouija boards. I think they're fucking nuts. I don't want to knock on any of that.
I don't want to bring on anything extra.
Nope.
And if I'm standing on my porch and I look in, and I see a little ghost boy sitting there, I'm not coming in there.
Like, are you done with that house?
Yeah, when we woke up from the house with a bat in the bedroom flying over us, I wanted to move after that. I thought it was like cursed or something. I was like weirded out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not, no, I'm going to be peeking around the corner every night, scared to go upstairs by myself. You know, the whole routine. You're getting out the shower, you hear a little creak down the steps. You're like, what? You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I do. And that's why I'm saying that scares me more when I watch this. Anyway, that's directed, same guy as James Wan. He's done a lot of things. He did The Conjuring. He was a writer on Saw. He directed Furious 7. Okay. So he's done like a bunch of different stuff. And like you're saying, the reason let's round robin this, I brought it up even, is all the underwater feels right.
Right. Absolutely.
Which I was really very happy about, because that's something that they finally beat Marvel to. Marvel doesn't have an underwater movie yet. So I was really nervous about how this is going to look, you know, because everybody forever will always compare. It doesn't have to be a battle, but inevitably that's where the toxic fan groups will bring it. So I was happy that when you watch that, you're right. Their hair looks good. Everything looks like, holy shit, yeah. How much of this was actually filmed underwater? And a pretty good amount of it was, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this movie. Okay, so the first 3 superhero movies I watched them in pieces, like little here, little there, or backtracked a little bit, you know. But this one I watched straight through. And
Sans the dog cool. And you going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, you know, or I might have grabbed a drink or something like that, or might have. To be honest, rolled a joint and just been a little focused in that little part right there. I rolled 2 of them or whatever. But yeah, it's a good movie.
Out of the movies that we watched, I think this is so far the most recent. Let me double check in my head going backwards. Yeah, definitely the most recent. I shouldn't have even had to think that hard now that I think about it. 2018. This one was a bit longer, but it doesn't feel as long. This is longer than Iron Man. Did it feel longer than Iron Man? No,
because it had a lot of action. And it got right to it, you know.
I think that this movie flowed very well.
Yeah.
You know, Jason Momoa, like we were talking about, he played Aquaman, held it down. He's perfect. You know, it wasn't his first time playing this role, because he was already doing stuff for Batman v Superman, which eventually we'll get to. He's got a small clip cameo, but Justice League had already come out too. So we had seen him play a pretty good amount of this. But with this, we really opened the door, and he knocked it out of the park, if you ask me.
Right. Okay.
Amber Heard played the girl, Mira, who might not get to play her again because of long reasons that we don't have to get into. Unless you want to. Apparently, she likes to pee on Johnny Depp or something. Who knows? They got lawsuits going everywhere. Willem Dafoe, we talked about, plays Volko, the guy who's training him.
Okay.
Patrick Wilson played Orm, his brother who he had to fight. Yeah. Nicole Kidman was in there. Dolph Lundgren was in there, and you're like, what the fuck?
I know, I was like, oh,
what a weird time jump this is.
Yeah, but I was happy. He had, got back a nice little role instead of just something small and quick. He had a big part in it, you know?
I do.
Decent part.
And the one last person I wanted to bring up is Digimon Honsu.
Don't know.
God, I hope I say his name right, but I love him. Tiny little baby side story. I love the movie Never Back Down. And he plays a great character in that. So when I see him, I really like him. He's one of the characters who gets to travel between worlds. So you won't recognize him by how he looks because he played a fish person in this movie.
He played in the Gladiators, didn't he?
Yep. Very good. He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is Marvel. He played in Captain Marvel, which is Marvel, as a different character. So that's 2 for Marvel, 1 for DC. But he also was in Shazam, where he played Shazam. So he's been somebody who gets work in both sides. And I'm just like, go for it, Digimon, because I like looking at you. So it's a great cast. It was good writing. A few things, like I said, Nicole Kidman. Now, the thing I want to talk about most is him talking to fish. Did you have any experience growing up with Aquaman before this?
Yeah, in the late 70s, early 80s, I used to watch the Super Friends, and he was one of them.
Yes.
The cartoon, you know. And I liked him on the cartoon, but once again, Superman's my guy. You know.
So since then, he's kind of taken a public beating of being a quote-unquote lame character. I don't know why. But the talking to fish thing was kind of an exclusively dumb power to make fun of for the memers and for everybody. Family Guy makes a pretty funny joke about it. I mean, it's not all untrue. But this character really upped it for that. But I liked in this universe that's what made him special. That's what made him worthy. That in this universe of Aquaman, that almost kind of like in Harry Potter, if you will, if you don't mind me crossing streams, it's like parcel tongue, only a lineage of people can do it, can speak to snakes. So in this one, like, if you could do it, that's why you're the king, and that's why you get this trident, because you could tell this big Chichulu motherfucker, like, hey, don't kill me, I need that fish fork. Let's go fuck shit up together. Like, that end battle scene, like, when he comes riding in on that thing, and, like, sharks and alligators and prehistoric shits are all fighting, like, come on. That's one of the coolest things to ever be filmed, if you ask me.
It was pretty cool. All the colors and everything, man.
I didn't like, but I understand, like, how they made them kiss in the middle of all that. It's just like, oh, we got Rolling Thunder coming in. If you heard that sounded 2 giant pit bulls running through your house. There's no way to quiet them down. They just...
It's not good.
What else is there anything that you would have cut? Anything you didn't like? Any questions that you have about Aquaman?
I didn't like how there was one scene where they, like, I think they came from, like, the desert and they fell through, like, a hole. But they were, like, clean as hell. And they just pop up, like, really clean with new white clothes on she had. And that part was kind of whack.
It didn't really make much sense now, did it?
Nah.
I didn't like the joke in there, too. Like, I could have just peed on it. That kind of took me out for a second. It's like, nah.
Yeah, no.
We could have gotten there somewhere else, maybe, Mama. But I understand, like, we were talking about the Marvel, and again, nobody should have to compare, but that's exactly what they're going to do. And maybe not even compare like that, but I'm sure WB studio heads are like, we got to steal that formula because it makes box office buster gang money. So they might also be the reason to, like, give them a little bit of incentive to try to be funny like Marvel, if you will. And I think that was one of those moments, because for me, it just stops it. It stops that movie dead a little bit. Now, one of the characters who were I didn't even list him in the credits because I wanted to kind of put him separately because I feel like he was done dirty for this, was Black Manta. Like the guy with the giant...
Yeah.
Played by, dude, I'm going to fuck this up, Yaha Abdul-Mateen II. I mean, come on, bro. How would you pronounce that shit? You read that.
Yaha Abdul-Mateen.
All right, so it's not
Mr.
just me.
Mateen.
I kind of wish they held him back and just gave him his whole movie. Not that he shouldn't have cameoed. Not that he shouldn't have even been helping. But, like, they literally just tossed him off at the end there and then gave him a post-credit scene. And I don't know. I feel like we had enough going on with Orm. We had enough going on to introduce him and not give him as much screen time. But what I am happy about,
sequel through him.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
But if we did have to see him, I'm happy what they did with the look of it, because that's exactly how it looks in the comics. It's one of the weirdest translations in terms of comic book to movies that has happened, but it was flawless, in my opinion. Like, it looks like it did in the comic, and it also makes sense to why it has to look like that.
Right.
Because a lot of time you get weird character changes or design changes for practical reasons, but like that helmet is so big, it doesn't make sense practically. But they're like, oh no, you'll believe it, and
ridiculous. It just looked like a alien, like a really futuristic alien. Like it could have been on that Alien vs Predator movie, or like one of the Terminator movies.
I love that Alien v Predator movie. Out of people who love the franchises, they hate that movie, and I'm like, why? I like it. I had a good time watching it. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So now we're going to do something that we don't often do in the podcast. We're going to have a discussion live. What are we watching next week? We didn't set this up before we started.
It's your pick, brother.
This one's mine? You started with Aquman, now it's coming back to me. Oh, shit.
You picked Iron Man.
What about Kick-Ass?
I never watched it.
Yeah. All right, there it is, right in front of you. It happened much quicker than I happened. We're going to watch Kick-Ass. Now, I don't know if you'll like it, because you like super... I'm not going to spoil anything. We're going to go in fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to watch Kick-Ass. This is going to be a good time. Ooh, I'm so excited to see what you think. That's what's going to be so much fun about this. That's why I love doing this so much.
I will be honest.
Oh, yes, you will. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I like that. When we talk, we know. There's no bullshit.
No.
It's one of the nicest things. But with that, though, I think we reached the end of the show.
Yeah. Can I give a plug to somebody?
Yeah, what's up?
If you need your roof done, check out Ritter's Roofing, the best in Northeast Pennsylvania. Thank you. That's it. Yeah.
Well, with that, that's the end of the show, guys. Thanks for hanging out for episode 4. Like we just said, episode 5 will be here in 1 week's time, from which you could be listening to this. I mean, you're one of those diehard fans. You're on that button on Wednesday. You're like, I gotta download it. Thank you very much. So if you were listening to this the second it dropped, 7 days from then, like The Ring, 7 days, we'll be there again with episode 5. Thanks again for tuning in. I have been Nick James.
And this is Big Body Biggz, the Can Up Amp.
Buds, Bros, and Superheroes are out of here.
Rah.